Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to GabTalks, success tips from experts. And today I am bringing to you a really awesome lady that I got to meet, and I think she does some amazing things out there. So I am excited to bring to you our guest expert today, Helen Turner. Hey, how are you?
Hey Gab, I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic, and especially because I get to share you with our audience.
Oh, thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So you and I were talking before the interview, before we started, and I was very interested in what you do and how you help people. Will you share with our audience about your expertise?
Yes, I'd love to. So, first, my favorite title is I am a mom of 8 kids. I've got 4 boys and 4 girls because I wanted to keep things even. I also homeschool my kids, make things a little bit more exciting and chaotic, and so it's all good. I have my own business, and I am an emotional health and wellness coach. And I just love working with moms and women and helping them to feel better about themselves and feel their unique value and purpose and just understand their potential.
Absolutely. It's a unique set of emotions that we deal with as a parent and especially as a mom. So, can you tell us for a moment what a health and wellness emotional coach is?
So what I do is I work with people, and this isn't just for moms. I just go to moms because I'm attracted to moms and moms are attracted to me. But this works for anybody and everybody. We all have emotions, and we all need to learn how to use our emotions and to properly use them and not run from them and not hide from them and not let them keep us stuck and feeling trapped and not able to continue to move forward. Because if you turn off one emotion because you're afraid of it, if it's anger or fear or guilt or whatever, you actually end up turning off all of the emotions. So
Hmm.
it's like picking up a stick. You have to pick up both ends. So if you turn off the emotions that you're scared of, you're also going to turn off those emotions that you really want to feel, like peace and happiness and contentment and joy and all those more fun emotions.
That's awesome. Will you share with us, please, about your background and your history that led you down this path of expertise?
When I was in my early 20s, I was actually diagnosed with some severe depression.
Hmm.
And I had a really hard time trying to get out of it, but that led me on a road of trying to find a cure and trying to find different tools to help me to get through it, because I did not want to be stuck with this severe depression. I didn't want it to rule my life. And I didn't want to, be stuck in bed or whatever it was that was going on, and not finding and feeling the joy and the happiness. And unbeknownst to me, I know it now, but what I didn't know then is I was shutting off the anger and I was shutting off the fear because I was so afraid of those emotions that
Hmm.
it shut off the emotions of peace and happiness and contentment. And so I went down lots of different roads trying to figure out different tools and different things to be able to help me with this.
That's kind of scary, I think, because when we talked, I had my own bout with depression, and I know it was a very scary place to be. So, how did you deal with that and getting out of it?
So I kept looking for different tools and different solutions. And I had certain things that I knew I would never do because I knew that I didn't want to have alcohol abuse or substance abuse because I saw what that did for other people, and how it kind of
Mhm.
ruined their lives. And I wanted to find things a little bit more natural, things that would help with the brain, not just like physical, but also your thought process. And then I learned so much about emotions and how emotions are so intertwined with anything that's going on in our life. And some people will even talk to you about like a disease is a dis-ease. It's your body not being at
Yeah.
ease. And emotion is energy in motion. And so sometimes if we have some type of a disease and something going on, whether it's a mental or a physical or social, financial, anything, oftentimes there is an emotion tied to that. And when we can go and figure out what this emotional story is that we keep telling ourselves, then we can let that go and we can move forward and find healing.
Well, and the other thing is that I know you work with a lot of moms. You also work with a lot of business owners, probably a lot of mom business owners like me. And what a lot of people don't realize is when you're in business, when you're in that leadership role, you wind up going through a lot of emotional roller coasters.
Yeah, and the tips and tricks that I've learned and that I've figured out, and the people that I work with when we do sessions and such, is finding out what might have triggered that off. Sometimes there's some hidden emotional story that needs to be uncovered and let go.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times, and that's what you are particularly skilled at doing, especially with your background. So before we started recording, we were having a conversation about your influence, and I was really, really fascinated by who you shared with me. I think our audience would really enjoy hearing this story.
Yeah, so I love following a renowned heart surgeon named Dr. Russell Nilsson. And in the 50s, he was actually on the team that created the heart and lung machine so that they could actually do open heart surgery. Because before then, when he went to medical school, they were taught that if you touched a beating heart, it would instantly stop beating and that person would die. And that was the science of the day, and that's what they were taught. And he was willing to question some of the stuff that he had been taught and say, where's the proof in this? And what would happen if somebody goes beyond that boundary? And thank goodness he did, because I know people who've had open heart surgery and they would not be alive had it not been for a brave man like him to figure some of this stuff out and this technology out. But one of the quotes that he said that's actually also pertain to emotions is he says, if you want to master your emotions, you need to first master your appetite. And I was thinking, okay, well, what kind of appetites are you talking about? And there's different types of appetites out there, right?
So I'm curious if you would say that that quote applies to food only, or could it apply to other kinds of appetite, like an adult's appetite for certain kinds of intimacy, or the appetite for global recognition, or and being influential, or other kinds of appetite as well?
I believe that appetites and addictions are kind of connected. Do you have an appetite or an addiction to be on your phone all the time and you're kind of missing the world that's going on around you? But I think sometimes our appetites get in the way of being able to accomplish those goals and those dreams and those desires, because if we want to get healthy and have a healthy body, but we're eating ice cream every night before bed, and then our appetite for ice cream is getting in the way of us having this goal of a healthy body.
Right.
And apparently emotional health as well, which I hadn't put together until he had made that comment. Yeah.
That's really fascinating. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you.
Introducing Boost by GoV, a high-end, first-in-class fuel catalyst tablet that is taking the world by storm. How would you like to save money on gas and go further on every single tank? The new MPG is here. Get more miles per gallon, boost power and performance, and reduce emissions and exhaust. What would you say if you could pay less and make fewer trips to the gas pump? It's time to wake up and get on the move. What are you waiting for? Get more out of life and join the GoV experience today. Scan the QR code or check the show notes for more information.
So, Helen, you mentioned that you started having children in your early 20s. If you could go back and talk to that younger self of yours, a lot of our audience is just starting out in business, or they're shifting and changing and pivoting careers like I did. And so they're young in a new business. Is there one piece of advice that you would give?
Yeah, and it would be don't change anything. Honestly, I would not be the person I am today had I not had all those experiences that I went through.
Of course.
So whatever it is that you're going on in life, if you're in your 20s or if you're switching careers, whatever it is, don't change anything that's already happened. Just learn from it, take those lessons. I don't like the word mistakes
Mhm.
because I don't really feel like we make mistakes. I think we're just learning lessons. And
Right.
sometimes people choose not so smart lessons than others, but you're still learning a lesson, right?
Yeah.
So just take those lessons, keep learning those lessons, see what strengths that you can draw out of those lessons and keep moving forward. Because if you want to be a strong person in a few years, you've got to learn those lessons and rely on that strength and develop that strength now so that you can be the person you want to be in a few years.
Absolutely. And and business is all about what all these little lessons that lead to the bigger conclusions that we make and learn and grow from. That's incredible. So I would love for you to share with us some advice and tips that will help our audience get that much closer to success.
It's kind of what I was talking about earlier. When you have these emotions and you have whatever it is that's going on in life, these challenges, these lessons, these trials, don't hide from the emotions. Don't be so afraid of them that you're running and hiding from them because that's them still controlling you. There's this front door, back door approach that I teach my clients. Say it's anger and they're knocking on the front door
Yeah.
and keeps knocking and you're like, I know that's anger and I don't want to deal with the anger and I'm just going to completely ignore it. Well, it just sits there and it keeps knocking and knocking and knocking. And you're like, I'm not going to go out the front door because if I open up the front door, then I have to deal with this anger. So I'm going to go sneak out through the window and all these different things. And then you pull back up and there's anger still knocking on your front door and you're like, oh, I can't do it. I can't go through the front door. I'm going to go through the back door and stuff. So instead of just ignoring it, you go to the front door, you open it up, you say, hello, anger. Thank you so much for being here and for teaching me a lesson, for showing me that there's something that I need to learn here, and even expressing love for it because there are emotions, they're part of us. Love conquers all the emotions, right? And
Oh
saying,
my gosh.
I love you. I'm so grateful that you're here. And all the while you're walking from the front door all the way to the back door and you open up the back door and you say, goodbye, thanks. And you shut the door. So you acknowledged it. It's not sitting there knocking on your front door. You felt it. You learned what you needed to learn from it. You're giving it some love and some appreciation, and then you let it go.
I would love for you to share any other advice or tips that you would like to share with us.
One of my favorite things is just learning how to embrace your life. If you resist something, then you're going to attract more of it.
Right.
So if you're like, I really don't like this going on in my life, I don't like these things that keep happening, and you keep trying to not feel it and just resist it, it's going to be like that emotion knocking on your front door saying, here I am, I'm not going away. But
Mhm.
if you embrace it, and I love thinking of embrace as like a great big huge hug. But when we get a hug, there's usually two reasons. One, it's like, I miss you so much and I'm so excited to see you again. And you're just, out of love and out of missing somebody, or somebody is heartbroken and they need some comfort. And so you're embracing them out of the heartbroken and trying to help them feel a little bit better, or you're feeling heartbroken and you need some comfort as well.
Yeah.
So when we embrace life, it's embracing the good stuff as well as the heartbreaks and needing comfort. And when we can just go and embrace that and not fight it or resist it, then that's when the magic happens. That's when the miracles come. That's when the change occurs. That's when the healing happens.
On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Bliven, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
I can say from my own experience that what you're talking about is so spot on. And I know that a lot of our audience needs exactly what you have to offer. So will you let us know how they can get a hold of you? And you guys don't forget, links will be down below in the comments in the show notes. So click those links and reach out to Helen. How can they find you?
Yeah, probably the easiest way is to just go to my website, helenturnercoaching.com.
Absolutely. And they can contact you, they can call you, they can email you and find you on social media through your website.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you do workshops pretty regularly, and you have some that are already recorded they can access. How can they find you to take a workshop from you?
Yeah, so you can find that on the website, or you can go to helenturnercoaching.com/workshop, and you can find out when the next workshop is, the next live workshop, or you can get access to the one that we currently did and that's recorded. And there's just a lot of really good free advice and tips. And again, I usually gear it towards moms because that's my niche and that's who I usually work with, but it's good for everybody.
So you guys go click the links, check out Helen's site, go to the workshops and see what the content that she has to offer, and figure out how to reach out to her and see how she can help you with your emotions. And again, she mostly works with moms, but not exclusively. She just has a tendency as a mom of 8 to attract moms, but her skill and what she teaches is applicable to every single one of you in business, whether you're 18 or 80 or somewhere in between. I know because the stuff she teaches is the kind of stuff that I absolutely made a huge difference in my ability to carry myself forward in business. So click the links, reach out to Helen. Don't forget to hit subscribe and make sure you set your reminders for when our next episode is airing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.